Okay, so I have two ideas for an upcoming video. First, one's tame. I'll just give a hint before I go into them. One is tame. One is mildly controversial. I don't like saying controversial because it's just an opinion, but I guess that's that's the only thing that could be, because they all start from just an opinion someone has. The first thing is just, what will be the next media platform? Because you hear words tossed around like Web 3.0 or something like that, blockchain and AI and blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, that's not. I mean, the AI is what's gonna get everyone sold on. But at the moment, it's not really what people need. What people need is the ultimate platform, kind of like what China has. And the ultimate platform is going to be that one thing that connects everyone. Something that's not an echo chamber, something that's free and open space, something that, misinformation is bad. So the actual platform itself is going to be held accountable for misinformation to really incentivize people from not doing it. I don't know the words, but make people not do it. Make the company more active about doing it, especially in different languages, because to be honest, if it's not English, then chances are there's probably no one checking to see if it's misinformation. They don't really care about English, which is weird and messed up. And then the more controversial thing is essentially the ACE community splitting into its own thing, separate from LGBTQIA. And there's like two more and a plus. I should meet the LGBTQIA plus. I know there was just like a 2, like the number 2 and an S. But to be frank, and don't harp on me, I literally only know what 5 of them mean. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, and ace. I know what those 5 mean. I'm personally ace, and one of the many subcategories of that one. I'll have to do so much research. That's what it takes for the video. And then I'm also gonna get into the habit of editing every video in some way or another. For example, this, I'm gonna use an audio enhancer. Just say that I edited it. And at the moment I'm shirtless because it's hot. I gotta get, instead of like cardboard for my windows, I gotta get that like fancy blackout but also reflects the light thing, as an insulation and an air conditioner too. Because it's not summer yet, but a birdie told me that this room, when it gets to summertime, can get to like 110 or something degrees. Literally, the blinds are melted in the room from before I got here. So, that's gonna be fun. Back on topic though, back on topic. I guess that's the only reason why I can't go into it. So, for a bit of context, I've basically been living under a rock for some time. So much so that I really, for the LGBTQ plus, I only really know of the LGB part. So I had like the original thinking of, oh, so it's basically who you like. And then I was like, I was a bit confused at the time. Not referring to that, but with myself. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm the G part. For that, I only thought of that because of some stuff that I won't go into it. It's just not a good childhood. Anyway, and then I was like, okay, then I guess I am the B part, but also no. And I was like, okay, well, if I don't like either, let me find out what that is. And it's the A, and then that's like, oh, it's a big it's an abbreviation, acronym, whatever it is. LGBTQ plus I A 2S plus? I said plus twice, but so okay, I know queer is on there. I don't know what it means. I do know what transgender means. I don't even know what the I stands for. And I found out today that the A doesn't even stand for ace. It stands for aro ace and agender. I think agender is just a blanket term for the other ones. I haven't gotten into that either. But yeah, finding out that the one that I am isn't even, it's sharing it. And sharing it with basically one of the other ones that not that I am, that's like related to it, but also agender. I haven't researched it, but I'm just based off of intuition. I'm pretty sure agender is just like non-binary, and the other ones that I don't know. I was going somewhere. Hold on. So yeah, I was like, before going into it, before doing any research, I was like, well, then shouldn't Ace be not in it? Because it seems like LGB was, before I knew about it, was just like different ways of liking people that weren't the norm. It wasn't just straight. So I was like, okay, so if LGB is just contrast to straight, then Ace is just neutral. So it should be without it, because it's a neutral entity. Like LGB are different things, and I guess Ace is too, but different things in kind of an opposite manner to Ace, to straight. And Ace is not opposite to any manner. It is what it is, just some, at least in my mind. And then I did a bit of research and I was like, oh my god, there are so many different things in Ace. So many. Just today I learned like 4. And then one of them just like hit me like a ton of bricks. So now I double have to do research and actually do research and not just look something up and skim over it. And then I also have to do research about the rest of the LGBTQIA+ community. Because the main basis I'm going off of it now, instead of being a neutral thing, now that I've actually looked into it, is just that it seems it's just big enough. Oh, yawn. Sorry. It's just big enough on its own to be its own thing. Has so many different variations. I guess it doesn't really have a history like the other ones do. I mean, I haven't looked into it yet, so for all I know, it doesn't have a history like the other ones do. Because I feel like they just kind of did it as they went along. Whenever something new had its own distinct name and what's the word? Not organization, name and community. That's when it was added to it, but in the order where it came up. LGB was just the ones everyone knew about, and then T, and then Q. I guess I should know what Q is. I don't know what Q is. And then I, which I also don't know what I is. And then A, which I do know, but it's sharing it with another one. And then 2, which I don't know what it is, and S, which I don't know what it is. Okay. That's weird. I'm not saying any of that's weird, but I think I just got heat, so yes, it is. So is that time of year? That's another thing. Sorry, it's a bit more. It's another thing I don't want to talk about. It was just weird that happened all of a sudden. I was like, huh. Well, through the 2 videos, I went into a tiny bit of depth about the first one, and then a lot into depth about the second one, because in all honesty, I haven't really done anything with the first one. I did like a tiny bit of research about the second one. And the first one, really only, I kind of want to be the one to do it for the first one, and I guess for the second one too. But I don't have the means to do the first one. Like, I could go on Kickstarter and everything, but I feel kind of bad because there were some people that supported my last one. I wanted to have my own. I just feel like it's very pompous and stuff just to be saying all this stuff. And I guess just thinking this stuff in general, it sounds very pompous to me. It probably is pompous, and I'm just lying to myself, thinking that it isn't, or it's just me missing. I don't know. But I wanted to have like my own world and have it be popular, because in my mind there's a difference of making a whole world and putting so many details in it, making sure everything is canon and not Brett. It's not Brett. Something from Rick and Morty. When you it's on the. Now I know people feel like it's on the tip of my tongue. Retcon. There we go. Where everything's canon. There is no retconning anything. And have it be so elaborate. And everyone loves it. There's a difference in my mind from that to just putting in all this work for it and it never sees the light of day. It stays solely in my head, and even then when it's in my head, it is constantly changing, getting more elaborate, some parts getting removed. And I did have a very, very, very large story for it until Apple took it all away from me. Apple took Oh, I need a lot's been taken very recently, and because of that, I am disappointed in myself for letting down the people, no matter how few, that supported the Kickstarter, because now they're getting a delayed product, and now it's gonna be so much more, not, like, I guess, kinda unfinished, because yeah, sure, I can still just do it all over again, but I went through a bunch of processes and selections and stuff to make it the best thing I could think of. And just to lose all that and knowing that some parts will just never be there again. No. Great. You won't see this, but the floor to my room's kind of dirty. So I accidentally shifted the tablet to see it. So now I do have to video and audio edit. I guess that's what I should do anyways. Instead of just doing a simple 2 clicks of a button to audio edit, I should at least go in and make it better. Because this is, so far, it has just been me talking, no script, no what do I need to bring up or anything. It's just me doing it as I go. So I guess I should start. I have to do it anyway, so I might as well start now. Only that logic worked with the other stuff. Oh, that I totally lost track. Oh yeah, that. And I don't know of any ways to contact the people. So to them, it probably just seems like some scam, which hurts a bit. I'm not really that interested in a reputation. It's like, oh, it's only people. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird duality. Because for other things, it's like, I don't care if I make a fool of myself. I can go up and ask anyone anything. And yeah, I can ask anyone anything. That's the only example I can think of that I haven't really been able to put. I haven't really had to do anything else that would, like, ruin my reputation of just asking someone something. I guess it's just the thing about me not knowing when something's weird or not. And it's like a you only live once thingy. And if there's no reason not to do it, then you might as well do it. And I keep getting off topic. What else talking about? Oh, it's already 20 minutes. I guess I should talk about the first one more. I don't want to I don't want to have my like first video, like the effort video, being that the ACE community, the ACE spectrum, the ACE community should leave LGBTQA. Whatever, the community, the larger one, the abbreviation one. I don't want to I don't want to disavow it. I don't want to diss it. I just, very long abbreviation. I don't really use it. And so I'm a bit of an efficiency person, having everything close by, making sure everything's efficient. So having to say LGBTQIA+, that's like basically a $10 word for me. So I'm sorry for messing it up a few times when I was saying it. Don't want to diss it. Mess it up if you. There's just a lot to say, and I haven't really got the full it's not really like a full memorized thing in my head. So every time I do say it, I have to like actively recall what it is and not saying it as a word. Basically, like I'm a child going through this. Yeah, I don't want to have it be the first one because I don't want bad connotation of a person trying to start rifts or like start a war, or maybe even just start drama in general, or kind of use it as something to grow the channel, like something to capitalize on, when I just want to do it because I was like, I always thought it was something that would have been different. And then looking more into it, I'm like, so I think personally that it should be different. And I'm gonna do research and stuff on it anyways, and at least try in some parts to make it different. And might as well do a video because there's no reason not to. So I'm gonna do the social media platforms first. That's also something I have an opinion on, where especially with AI, there's going to be targeted misinformation, and politics is gonna crumble. I don't want to sound extremist or anything, but misinformation is already pretty bad. Like, I haven't been on Twitter that long. Oh God, Twitter. Oh my goodness. The amount of misinformation that is allowed on Twitter is ridiculous. I don't know if I think the first thing I did on Twitter was defend Chris, because I watch Sunny V2, not anymore. Now I watch Turkey Tom. But Sunny V2 had a video that was Chris is gonna ruin Mr. Beast. And I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? And it was Chris's profile picture, which at the time I was like, did they just make up a random picture? Not Chris, I thought Sunny V2 just had a random cartoon picture made. It was actually just Chris. I that's how under the rock I am. I didn't even know Chris what is trans. I don't know the correct terminology because I know. Oh, just to make sure, because I have bad memory. I apologize if, like, in the last minute, I called Chris C. I have solely been using that terminology for her up until, like, very recently, and I haven't spoken to anyone about it because I don't have anyone to speak to it about it. So the only like memories I actually have of Chris was when she was a man in Mr. Beast. Like, I did not know about it until Sunny B2 made a video. I didn't know about it until everyone else knew about it. And then I stopped watching Sunny B2 because, like, come on, man, get better. You can't just target something like that for single decisions. And I watched Turkey Tom, and I like Turkey Tom better. Anyways, back to what I was originally going first about. When I first joined Twitter, because I feel like it was what affected my feed forever, was defending Chris, because people were going out of their way, bro. I literally tried learning Hebrew to read the Dead Sea Scrolls to see what it says about trans people. And yes, but I wouldn't oversight, wouldn't mention it then specifically. Wouldn't mention it at all. The only thing we have about it is Leviticus. I'm just gonna call it Leviticus. It's a word, one of the books in the Bible, that says a man shouldn't wear woman's clothing and vice versa. But what I found suspicious is basically the rest of that chapter before and after that specific verse is like, don't steal. If you find something that someone lost, return it, or if you don't know who they are, just have it at your place until they come get it. And things like that, like basically being a good person, not stealing and stuff like that. And then in the middle of it, it just says, a woman shouldn't wear men's clothing and vice versa. And I was like, that's very out of place. And then I guess also just doing that changed what I get suggested. Because now sometimes I get suggested stuff on YouTube. It's like, this word actually mistranslated in the Bible. But when people think that Eve was created from the rib, she was actually created from a cat or a thigh. But they changed it or mistranslated it because, having woman as equal halves didn't really fit too well. There's a bunch of other, not even as important things as that, like that one dude that portrayed Jesus, and it was like, you will betray me a bunch of times by saying stuff before the third rooster cry. But apparently it wasn't a rooster, it was just like, I forgot what it was, but it wasn't a rooster. Anyway, that's off topic again. But when I first went to Twitter and I was defending Chris, some people going out of their way just to shame her for no reason. Like, bro, first off, don't you have anything better to do? Doesn't God say love your neighbor, not harp on your neighbor for their personal decisions? not hate your neighbor because you don't like their viewpoint on life. No, no. I'm a bit controversial, more controversial opinion, but I feel like if the Christianity religion is true, those people would not fit too well with God. Because the God that's supposed to be all loving, and you're over here not loving and hating for things that don't matter to you, and you're doing it just because, and you're imposing your views on everyone around you and literally trying to change history and stuff. Like, no offense, but I don't think God likes you. It's like the Castlevania is God is not here, just an empty box. Most churches are. That was off topic too. Hold on, it's getting distracted. I might as well mention it because that's what whenever I see the word distracted, I always think of Distractable, my favorite and only podcast. I tried listening to Brainly, but they don't have like the word. Because with Distractable, each one is a theme. Each one has its own continuity. But with the Brainly podcast, it's just too all over the place. Which I don't mind that it's all over the place, but I want a focus on one specific thing. Distractable is all over the place, but it still has some kind of continuity. They go back to. That's part of the thing. They just do whatever and they get distracted, and then yeah. But with Brainly, they just no offense to the people that watch Brainly, but like the quality of content, at least in my opinion, for Brainly is down there. It is just random life stories, not really tangents going on. It seems like bringing up random stuff, and there is no kind of structure in place between them. I guess there's only two of them, but it's just all equal. For Bob and them, there's a structure, I think, just to like have it so that it's mainly or mostly two people talking with the host. While with other podcasts with three people with I don't know any. I mean, you guys are all backstabbers. You guys don't listen hard enough. I only listen to Distractable, and I used to try to listen to my favorite sports team and Brainly, but those just don't work for me. But what I assume for other podcasts with three hosts, there's a lot of like interruptions and talking over each other and the like. Oh, okay. 10% and a little about, oh my goodness, 35 minutes, and he's getting distracted. But I really should do a podcast. I'm not gonna go down that route. I'm gonna stop myself here so we can get back on topic. But I think I also have to fix the specific, not speech impediments, because last time I did that, I got a different one. I used to say R, like basically like a W instead of an R. But then when I finally fixed it, I got a lisp. I switched out the R for a lisp. Rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. If I had the option, I would have chose the R instead of the lisp. Because I sandwich. Like, how about I can't do an S. I try and I can't do it. But I can do an R. And to be honest, not being able to say R and just saying W is a lot more interesting than a lisp. I didn't even realize it until like a few years later. And someone brought it up and I was like, wait a second. I didn't always have a lisp. What happened? Back to the thing I mentioned before this that I didn't close. But me, that being like my first interaction on Twitter, and now I just get political stuff. And I just don't like it. Like, I'm pretty sure most of it literally counts as defamation and people can sue. The amount of people that just read something some person sent on Twitter and they're like, yep, this thing this person sent is fact. I will not only not look it up or double check or anything, I will actively agree and promote it and argue with anyone that says otherwise. And ridiculous. Just ridiculous. It should be illegal. Defamation is illegal, but misinformation should be illegal. There was no issues when people were shutting down the information about the 5G towers, or when people said that wearing masks were unhealthy. But when it comes to other things that also affect us in detrimental ways, we're like, no, freedom of speech. People should be allowed to just be hateful and target people and do willy-nilly and say hurtful stuff and misleading stuff that has hurt society and perpetuates it. But if we had something where, misinformation, illegal, hate speech, illegal. The point isn't to suppress people. Whenever it gets brought up, everyone's like, no, freedom of speech. What if you couldn't say blah, blah, blah? It's like, no. The point isn't to suppress people. The point is to help people. The point is to stop harmful ideas and just straight out lies from spreading. Like, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want my parents or someone I know going down a rabbit hole of just believing what some random person said on the internet. Because for all I know, what that random person said on the internet causes someone I know to start being hateful to people they don't even know. To start holding biases which affect everyone else in their life. Like, it's a way for this stuff to spread. If we just put our foot down and stopped it, then eventually we wouldn't have to have a law for it anymore, because it just wouldn't be there. It wouldn't be socially acceptable or normal for Recording. I don't know, I'm making it talking about whatever. But it shouldn't, stuff like that just shouldn't be acceptable. Like, I don't know where everyone's shame went, but only thing I know is the bottom of the ocean. No one's trying to take away the right to free speech. We're trying to take away the right to kind of formulate it in a way that isn't just the format what I just said, but take away the right to hurt others. Well, people don't realize that none of this stuff is normal. Like, we had a president that just said racist stuff. There was no like dancing around the specific technology for it. For example, he just was talking about a Muslim registry and putting specific people in camps. Like, am I the only one not realizing that that's not fucking normal? Back then, they used to just do it in a way so that people who are racist and xenophobes and the like, they understand what it means, but it's the language the way it is in a way so that it's socially palatable to say and accept and to hear and to talk about. When you say, yeah, what about that time Trump did a Muslim registry? Just change the topic. No one talks about it. Ever since the first, ever since January 6th or January 26th, one of the two, where the White House attack happened. And now it's not all of a sudden, but there's a lot more people storming their palaces and the like for the country they live in. The presidential palace. Like, now that's pretty much commonplace. People just think it's normal. It's so common, people just do it. Once something is there and everyone isn't condemning it, they're like, well, basically a third of the people didn't condemn it, so that means it's socially acceptable in some way, so we can do it. And the more it happens, the less people talk about it, so they're more like, yeah, it's socially acceptable because no one's talking about it. If it wasn't socially acceptable, people were talking about it, but no one is anymore, so we could do it. And this is just me going off of videos and stuff. I guess really more news. Take school shootings, for example. Like, and where I live alone, at one point in time, there was a shooting in a different place for 5 different days in a row. And I just straight up don't like being outside anymore. I don't even like being in a room that faces the street. Because I'm always, oh my gosh, it's hot in here. Oh my god. Oh, I'm gonna turn on the fan. wanted to do an update video talking about the 2 next videos I'm working on. I'm already at 45 minutes. Whatever I was talking about, I'm not gonna close it. Because I don't want an hour-long video. So, yeah. The 2 videos I'm working on is the next social media platform at large, I guess besides China, because they don't like that. They like social control and manipulation of other social structures. And the Spectrum leaving the LGBTQIA+, boom, got it, the bad community, and becoming its own separate thingamabobber. So yeah, look forward to that. I guess there was no point in me even talking, because deep in my heart, I know literally no one will ever see this, and if they do, no one will ever get to the end, like ever. I'm a bit tempted just to say stuff now. I want to tell secrets, but if I do even tell a secret, then it doesn't bode well. I don't like the idea of sharing secrets. I guess it's like sharing personal stuff. Secrets are personal stuff. It's like it's the same thing, kind of. And I might as well go about it because I thought about it and I'm just gonna get here anyways. And it's just me speaking my thoughts out loud. But I'm not comfortable with bringing up problems and issues I have, because I don't want to be seen as that guy, you know? There are 2 of them. There's that guy capitalizing on all the problems and issues he has. That guy that just doesn't really have self-respect or something, just spouts it off because he knows people will listen and people will flock to him more and it'll attract an audience and blah blah blah. Which, I don't know, this makes me feel bad for him. Anyways, and there's the other guy who just fakes it. And I guess this is also a controversial opinion, but if you have neurodivergent and you're talking about being neurodivergent, like, no. Either mention what specifically you have, because technically speaking, everyone's neurodivergent. Everyone has different brains. It's literally just how it is. But if you, I guess, yeah, it's controversial because I don't want to exclude anyone from having that label, but I also don't want just anyone to capitalize on that label and just say they have it without either knowing what it means or just, yeah, I have it. Look at me, I'm neurodivergent. I don't know. that one just kind of gets me angry because there are people just faking things and capitalizing. You're essentially capitalizing on other people's suffering. Like, that's not okay. It's messed up. Like, don't they have, don't they literally have any shame? I don't know. Doesn't matter since I said it. No one's gonna get hurt. It's just. Hold on. I'm gonna block the camera. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in my bed. I'm sitting in a chair. Now I'm just gonna. Oh, my bed. Cause I'm just gonna make this a full-fledged, long thing of just me talking. I guess I don't have anyone to talk to. I have like I text and vent on this on Reddit. I'm just not really talking. Like I just say what issues I have, and people don't even. People just don't even with them. I guess it's also part of the like the thing with writing a book and like no one interacting with it or having an imagination or reading it. I'm not comfortable with the idea of making something, putting your heart and soul in it, and it doesn't see the light of day. And I guess when I just talk about my issues on Reddit and it just doesn't, people don't give me advice or people don't talk to me about it, it just kind of feels like I'm just putting my heart, like literally just putting, it's a bit weird to say putting my heart and soul is the same as putting just spotting my issues. But when I think of having issues, I think like, oh, those issues are a part of me. So putting a part of me out there, or putting my heart and soul out there, the bad parts, I guess. And it doesn't see the light of day. Because then it's just kind of like the opposite reasoning of if there's no reason not to do it, and the opposite reasoning to that is if it doesn't matter, why do it? I'm tired. Really tired. Tired, and I'm in heat. Talk to oh, Jesus Christ. Oh no. Hello? Oh, oh, scared me. Oh. I wonder if it's gonna get a heart attack. Because that's also another thing I think about. It's a lot of like what ifs. It's like, oh, I shouldn't spout my issues because what if I get some attention and then people see the issues and then guess that doesn't really make any sense. What I'm so the reasoning behind that one in particular, I already said it earlier, is I don't want to seem like I'm capitalizing on it. So if people do start to watch me and stuff, and I guess I would just not know if it's because of the issues. Because I don't want people to watch me, or I guess even listen to me, really just listening for now, because I have issues. And I guess going deeper into that, thinking about it, I just want to have a voice. I guess especially now, since I don't have a voice to anyone. I'm literally, I guess not literally, but like, I don't have a voice to anyone. There's no one. There's no one. Like a ridiculous amount of no one. So the reason why I want to make stuff is because I want to have an opinion and just put it out there. And I want to make content and stuff. Something that will survive way longer than me. I guess also another reason that I have thought about is just eventually some class in the future, like 2100 or something. Cause I imagine at some point in time we're gonna do like massive data archive just to save up energy from having everything stored on the internet to having everything on huge secured database. And I would imagine that at some point there would be like a project to relive history and just to go through everything year by year. And to basically like relive years. And I hope that someday a class, maybe a study, stumbles upon the stuff I made so far in the future, studies it and listens to it, so at least for now I could kind of have it in my mind that I had a voice. Even if it's not now, the voice is in the future. It's a bit egotistical to think that to be so important that classes and scientists years in the future just go and watch my stuff. That sounds pretty egotistical to me. I don't know what I was talking about. I guess I'm gonna talk about the first video now. I talked about the related things for the second video a lot, not really a lot for the first video. For the first video, the concept I had were three things. The first one was, these aren't in any particular order, so take it with a grain of salt, but WeChat, the Chinese app. I hope I don't sound stupid by just saying a random thing and calling it what I'm thinking it is. I know there is a Chinese app that basically has a bunch of things all rolled into one. I think it's called WeChat, but I'm not too sure if it's WeChat saying it out loud. Anyway,
also connectivity. No, Web 3.0. There we go. Web 3.0 is thrown around a lot, mostly because there isn't a set definition for what it would be, and I guess by definition it wouldn't be one, because Web 2.0, no one would have expected that to be what it is now. So Web 3.0 might just be something else that we haven't even thought of yet. So me saying it now is just like me being like, oh, really? This is what Web 3.0 would be like. No, this is what I think Web 3.8 could be like. And I guess another one is just connectivity, and alongside with that, like connected to connectivity is like the bad parts, like echo chambers or misinformation. There's probably more, and I probably know one more at least, but at the top of my head, those are the first two. So the idea I have in mind is just to have the app. The app you go for banking, the app you go for buying, the app you go for posting things like on Twitter and doing replies and threads and stuff, an app for Reddit where it's loosely just loosely a community, and then like Discord where it's a tighter community, or like YouTube where you post videos and stuff and shorts. It's basically the everything app. And being the everything app, it should have things in place to make sure the bad stuff doesn't happen. People call it all they want, but if you sit down and have a conversation with them, they're like, hey, I know you're mad at me because, or you're mad at the app for not allowing this, but we cannot allow this because it is harmful. And with this kind of app, it shouldn't be directed for money or anything. It should be like for connectivity and benefiting everyone. YouTube does stuff for money. YouTube got rid of dislikes. Why? For money. Because if a video gets disliked to hell, mind my language, but gets disliked to hell, and that video had a certain sponsor, then all of a sudden, from that sponsor's perspective, their video got disliked to hell for something unrelated to them, which harms their image. That's why YouTube said, oh, we removed it so to benefit YouTube creators' mental health. But they still show it to YouTube creators, which doesn't make sense. Why? Because that was just an excuse for what they really wanted is just, oh, it looks bad. So it looks bad for us when we want to get companies for sponsors and stuff and ads. So we just removed it. Didn't consult anybody, didn't do anything. They say what it is. But for the next media platform, since everyone uses it, everyone gets a say in it. Basically 5 o'clock. I guess I have to keep this in the vlog. One thing now, most definitely no one will see it. It's not even a vlog, it's just a vlog. Oh, audio log. A log. That's what I'm calling it. An hour and 40? Oh, an hour and 4. Basically, saturated what? See anything else you want to talk about? Oh, the thing from earlier. So, to go on for talking about issues I have, one of the things I mentioned is I don't want to get attention. I don't want to capitalize on it. So just me posting it or talking about it makes me feel comfortable because I don't want to seem like I'm capitalizing on it when I'm just talking about it. And another thing, mostly, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, really. Because when someone has, literally in the definition of issues, it's something that isn't right, something that's not supposed to be there. And so by definition, if you have issues, then something's up, something isn't the norm. And that just, it's a bit ostracizing. I don't like the ostracizing. And then I suppose the other thing I briefed on is even if I do talk about it and I have some way to know that it hasn't been capitalized on, then there's also the issue of if no one does. So there's like three things. I don't want to use it as a way to benefit me. There's the I don't want to be weird or different, which sounds bad out loud, I know, but it sounds better in my head. Then there's the I don't want to be saying it basically to a void, because that feels bad, just saying it to a void, because when you have nothing else to say it to, saying it to a void is worse than not saying it at all. And I really want to just share it, but I always find myself catching myself, I'll always start to say something super personal or say one of my issues, like an issue, not just having to drag a bike 6 or something miles. But I guess I don't want to discredit other people's issues when I say a real issue. Just more important, just specific issues. And besides, how do I know something okay today won't be okay tomorrow? How do I know that people aren't gonna do a witch hunt for basically a hate crime or something? I don't want a witch hunt done on me. I don't want a hate crime done on me. I already have nightmares about getting shot in Walmart. I don't need to have nightmares about getting burned alive. I don't know why I had the thought in my mind that it would feel good to indulge and actually just say and refer to the void. Since I'm talking to the void, it's kind of just hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm just gonna end it before it gets too long, because because it's gonna take forever to load, and I still have to. Oh yeah, because my room's dirty. Yeah, that's why I have to edit it anyways. I was gonna be like, for the logs, should I edit it? Because it's logs, and I was like, dirty room. That's another interesting thing I haven't thought about. No one sees it, then there's no reason to edit it out. But then there's always the option that someone does see it. I'm just gonna end it and edit it anyways.